What's up guys, in this video we're going to be looking at the top 3 penny stocks that we can be watching for next week that can have a really high significant chance of a continuation move to the upside. So I'm going to be talking about these stocks, and I'm also going to be going over what are the important things that we need to pay attention to for tomorrow for the overall market, and we're going to see exactly what happened on previous week to see exactly what could potentially we can use as support resistance areas for the overall market too. So I'm going to explain to you all of this information coming up, so make sure you stay tuned. Now let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so before we get into the video, make sure you like the video. If you have any questions, make sure you drop it in the comment section below, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Anyway, before we get into the top 3 penny stocks that we're going to be looking at for next week, I'm going to go over exactly what kind of happened last week and what kind of range that the market is kind of trading, because that can potentially affect the sentiment, and basically if we're going to have like a bullish or are we in a bearish kind of territory. So we kind of figure out exactly what we can expect for next week too, if we can have like a bounce or a continuation to the downside. So let's look at the charts for the overall market. As you can see over here, we're kind of like in a range right now over here between like 298 296 area, and the high that it made, that it topped out, was around 322 areas of cases also within the United States. So there are multiple states that have cases that spiked up a lot, so that is something that is not good. And also on Friday, what happened was Apple announced that they're going to close their stores because of the cases spiking up. So these are the things that can drastically affect the market to go to the downside. And as you can see over here, we also, when you look at the futures market tomorrow, basically we're going to be gapping down. So we're going to be open up around, if it stays at the same price, we can potentially open up at around 305 or 306 area, as you can see over here. So that is basically what is going to happen for tomorrow. And one of the important news that or events that are going to happen tomorrow is going to be the U.S. house sales is going to be reported at 10 a.m. So be on the lookout for that. If the numbers are kind of high, if people are signing up for mortgages and they're taking out loans from the bank, that can potentially affect the markets to the positive side, since they want people to buy homes and they want the housing markets to be super positive for the market, to go to the upside. So those are the major things that are going to be happening that can potentially affect it specifically for tomorrow. But now let's get to exactly the stocks that we were watching that you need to watch for next week. One of the stocks is, before I go to that one stock, guys, make sure you like the video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I really appreciate that too. But the first stock that we're going to be looking at is going to be UONE. So this stock actually drastically moved to the upside like crazy. So as you can see over here, for the 52-week low that it had was 95 cents, and the high that it went was like $54. So the stock went from 95 cents to $54 within a matter of a week or something. So that is a significant move to the upside, and this is mainly due to a lot of people participating or trading it. So there's a lot of traders that have traded this, because when you look at the most important thing that you want to look at before you get involved in these companies, especially with these penny stocks, is the share outstanding. So what is the amount of shares available for people to buy and sell? So as you can see over here, for this company, it's only 1.58 million shares available. So a lot of people, when they buy it, there's going to be a shortage of demand, of supply if they buy it, and there's going to be a lot of demand if people want to buy it. So that's going to drastically spike up the price of the company. So it just went up from 95 cents and to within like 3 days, within 4 days it hit to $54. Now it's kind of pulling back to $36.30. So this is basically, a lot of people have had attention with this stock because it was spiking up a lot, and the volume also that's been traded is like significant. Like as you can see over here, on average it only trades 2.5 million, but recently it's been trading 25.9 million shares per day. So that is a significant amount of shares being traded. So these are basically people that day traded, that kind of get involved in it. So they basically buy and sell the stock within the same day. So that's why the major reports are also trying to explain exactly why the stock has been going up, because a lot of people, a lot of traders, day traders, are buying and selling it. So that's why there's a lot of supply and demand issues happening when they buy and sell it as quick as possible. So that is exactly the explanation for that. But this stock, if you want to trade it, I would just keep an eye on it. Just keep it on your watch list, because this can definitely have a continuation if it starts to bounce back to the upside. But however, there's still the range is going to be drastic. As you can see, it just went from like 50 shares to like $36.30. Even if you want to buy and sell it, just try to buy like one share or like two shares. That would I personally do if I tried to trade it. But the price points that I'm looking at for this stock is to basically, if it goes down, if it holds, the area that it bounced, even if it comes down to $10, it can definitely kind of spike up again. When it spikes up a lot. It spikes up like $10 to $20. So the risk to reward that I'm looking at is if it kind of comes back to like $10 area. I'm looking for risking $10 to make a potential, $30. So that's kind of like a good risk to reward, but it can definitely pull back a lot. But right now it's kind of like in the middle of nowhere. It's just right closer to the high that it made. So we'll see what's definitely going to happen, but it definitely spikes up like 45%, 50%, like 100% every single day. So keep an eye on this stock, but that is just basically the main explanation of why exactly the stock's just been going up and down. It's because of the share of the float is very, very low, not because of the company is awesome and things like that. It's just people are just buying it and selling it as quick as possible. So now let's move on to the second stock, guys. So before we move on to the second stock, guys, make sure you like the video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, and if you have any questions, make sure you drop it in the comment section below. I really appreciate it. So the second stock that we're going to be looking at is going to be the ticker symbol BBGI. So this is a broadcast group incorporated. So as you can see over here, this company is also having a lot of spike in volume, but relative compared to the other stock that we just watched, this company specifically is has a 1 year price target of like $5, and the volume also is trading a lot. It's like 25 million shares been trading a lot, and the average volume is that it used to have in the past was 542. So there's a lot of buying and selling happening over here, and the 52-week range that we're going to look at is going to be from 1.28 cents to 5.15. So the 1 year price target is $5, is currently sitting at $3.85. So there's definitely potential for it to go to the 1 year price target if it has this continuation of people want to buy this company because of some of the news that it has. So when you look at the catalyst of this company and when you look at the share of the float, as you can see over here, it's kind of relatively higher to the previous company that we watched, but it's currently sitting as the share outstanding is 27.8 million shares, and the share of the float is 7.55 million shares. So, and also the important thing, as you can see over here, is institution ownership of the company is 39.10%. So compared to the previous companies, or compared to other penny stocks, this company is not the majority of it is held by institutions, but compared to other companies is better. So some institutions own it, like hedge funds and things like that own this company. So that is one of the good signs that you want to look for, because it's not just controlled by retail investors that just buy and sell it quickly. So the price can really fluctuate drastically. But if you see an institution ownership higher, these kind of price fluctuations might not happen a lot because they're in it for the long run. But one of the news that kind of helped this company is basically they reported a first quarter net revenue of 57.7 million, which is definitely better. So that's why the volume kind of started to come back up again. And right at the price point that we can have of the $4 area, if this price point breaks out and holds above $4, this can definitely continue to run for a multi-day breakout. As you can see over here, $4 was kind of like the resistance area. It broke out on Friday, and it went to $6, but it kind of did not. It went to $5 and did not hold that price point and went back up again. So if it continues to go up, and if it breaks out and holds the $4 area, this can definitely spike up to $5, because that is one of the 1 year price target that was set up for this company. So there's a good risk reward potential for this company if it kind of breaks out and holds that. So that is one of the areas that we're definitely going to be looking for this specific company, guys. But now let's move on to the third stock, guys. Alright guys, so before we move on to the third stock, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe, and if you have any questions, make sure you drop in the comment section below. I really appreciate it, guys. So let's try to get to 100 to 200 likes, guys. I really appreciate it. So the third stock that we're going to be looking at is going to be SPLP. As you can see over here, the volume compared to the previous two stocks that we talked about is not actually that much higher, but this company just broke out. It's a multi-day breakout strategy that you can use if you want to trade this specific strategy. This company fits that strategy criteria. As you can see over here, the average volume that it had in the past was 340,000, and currently the volume increased to 1.9 million. So that is an important thing that we're going to look for, because there's a lot of supply buying and things like that going on with this company. And the 52-week range is between 1.43 to 4.63, and the 1-year price target for this company is $8, and it's currently trading at $4.40. And one of the other things that you want to be looking for is the market cap. Still going to be in the mid market cap to lower market cap, which is 238.689 million. So as you can see over here, the 1 year to date chart, it was kind of like trending down, and it kind of broke out of this area of around $3.50. Now it's kind of trading at $4.40. Let's look at some of the detailed information that we need to look for before to see specifically what price points that we can get involved in this company if it provides a very solid buying opportunity and a trading opportunity. As you can see over here, the share of the float is around 54.23 million shares, and the share outstanding was 54.23, and the share of the float is 47.16. And the institutional ownership, as you can see, is 65.7%. So there's a lot of hedge funds or a lot of banks and things like that are owning this company. So that's why you see 65.7%. So that is more than half of the companies owned by that specific individuals that are in an institutions. So that is probably a good thing to look at, and broke out of this area. So let's see if it can hold the $4 area. The 1 year price target, as we talked about, is going to be $8. So if it can stay above this area and does not come down below, they would definitely fit the criteria of a multi-day breakout that I just had, and we going to be looking for the continuation to the upside to potentially hit that $8 price mark. But this is definitely a company that I'm going to be watching for because of the institutional ownership that it had, and also the positive news that it kind of had also was when you can see the catalyst of this company. They are basically going to be doing a virtual healthcare conference. They're going to be presenting about some of the products or the pills that they're trying to pass with FDA and things like that. So that is one of the things, if they get a positive response within that that meeting, probably the Zoom meeting that they have, that's presentation that they're going to be having, the stock can potentially continue to go to the upside, guys. But these are the top 3 stocks that we're going to be looking for the next week. But let's talk about the other 3, 4, 5, 9 stocks that we talked about on last week's video. Let's see exactly what those companies actually did, because I had a significant amount of questions, and I made several videos about these companies on last week's video. So I want to show you guys exactly if the plans that we set out for those companies actually kind of follow through. So we set some price point levels that we watched for those companies, and we're going to find out exactly if these penny stocks that we watched actually fit the criteria, if we had a continuation to the upside, or did they continue to sell off and things like that. So on Thursday, one of the stocks that we actually talked about was on my previous video was AFH IDEX. We talked about those companies. So this company just broke out, and it cannot hold, so it's kind of like holding the area that it kind of broke out of 83 cents, but it's kind of pulling back. So if you didn't get involved in it, if you didn't get involved in it, this is going to be good potential because it kind of pulled back. It's giving us a good opportunity for us to get a good risk reward off of it. So we kind of not chasing it. Now it's pulling back. If it can potentially spike up again to play for the bounce, there's a good opportunity. So, and the other company that we saw was last week, what we talked about was IDEX. Now this company broke out, and as you can see over here, it had a pretty good continuation to $2.50. Of course, it's going to be, if you kind of timed it, that's fantastic if you're able to get out around $2.50. But that's not the case for the majority of people. So it kind of pulled back again. Now it's kind of holding above the price point that it broke out. So that's kind of a good thing to see. It looks like it's going to trend to the upside, trying to break out again. So that is one of the good things that you want to see, because it's not just it just broke out and it did not go down significantly to the downside. So it's kind of holding the price point that it broke out of. So that is a good thing, and it kind of going to the high that it made when it first broke out of around $2.40. So that is a good thing that you want to see. And the other stock that we saw last week is the XSPA. So this was the COVID-19, this is one of the companies that offered people to test people in the airlines. So they have a lot of spas and airlines in the airlines terminals. So they offered to essentially help those clients, the people, the pilots, the airline workers, to test for COVID-19 when they do a lot of traveling. So that was the news that kind of made the stock to spike up again. As you can see, we're looking at the $4 price mark is definitely above that price point. It's kind of pulled back a little bit, but just still above the price point that we want the stock to continue to stay above that. And the volume's kind of declining, so we'll see. We're definitely going to see if it can continue to stay up that price point, and if it continues to go down, it'll be, if it presents a good risk reward opportunity, I'll definitely want to consider to get involved in this company. But right now I'm still watching it because it's still kind of right in the middle of nowhere right now. So the other stock is definitely SRNE. SRNE is also one of the COVID-19 stocks that we watched, but it still did not do any kind of thing. This is still just in the range of below $5, and it's still above the support that it made over here. And the other stock that we talked about was HEXO. HEXO actually broke down the price point that we watched, and it just continued to sell off. So that is one of the things that happened. So it did not hold the price point that we wanted it to hold. So it's kind of selling off. So this is definitely not going to be the stock that we're going to continue to watch in the future. And the other stock that we watched was SLIR. So this one, actually, we were talking about it right when it kind of broke out. One of the people that left a comment actually wanted me to talk about this company, so we talked about it. It broke out and it hit to like $4, and it just went down. Now it's still kind of holding one of the areas that it broke out of. So we'll see if we can have a continuation to the upside next week, this upcoming week. And then the other stock we're going to be looking at that we saw was SOLO. Now this company is still holding the price point that it kind of broke out over here, or the price point that it kind of have a support area over here. So we'll see definitely if it can continue. It's kind of like in the middle range over here, if it can spike up to the $2.20, but still we're going to keep an eye on it. And we also added those 3 stocks that we're going to be talking about was UONE and BBGI and SPLP. So those stocks are added to this stock that we're definitely going to be watching for a potential trade for next week, guys. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like the video. If you have any questions, make sure you drop in the comment section below, and I really appreciate it. I'll catch you guys on the next video. So peace out.